Good morning everyone and welcome to Yoga with me, Kerri. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to be playing around with crow pose and some of the variations that you can do in crow. So in today's session, if you are wanting to practice your crow or if you're wanting to try crow for the first time and then work to progress further with some more variations, this is a great little session to do because I'm going to provide you with the warm-up as well as the fundamental points of focus as we go into moving into crow pose, and then we'll also give side crow a try. So grab yourself a mat. If you do have some blocks, that would be very helpful, especially if this is your first time doing crow. Otherwise you can just prop yourself up on some books, just make sure they don't slide, and yeah, otherwise get yourself comfortable, throw in some music in the background and let's have some fun. Like I said, if you have some blocks, will be super helpful. Otherwise, you can just use some books, just making sure that they don't slide. Just going to set those aside for now and quickly chat through the three main points that we're going to need to focus on to effectively get into crow. The first is you want to crunch yourself up into a nice teeny tiny little ball because you are going to be balancing on your arms. So the smaller and more compact you can make yourself, the more compressed you are, which means the more balanced you'll be able to get on your arms. So you've got to think squeezing up nice and round, nice and small. The second point is you want to focus on squeezing your legs onto your upper arms. The more you squeeze, this will also help with keeping yourself crunched up in that nice little ball, as well as help keep you nice and stable on your arms. The last point is focusing the drishti, the gaze. You look forwards and you lean forwards. In yoga, especially with these balancing postures, a lot of the time people have the fear of inversions, which isn't a bad thing. It's okay if you're scared of falling. If you are, have a blanket or a pillow handy, and we'll prop that where your head would land. I'm not saying it will land, where it would land, and that may help a little bit with the fear of going upside down. But the main thing is with your drishti, when you're going into a balance, where you look is where you're going to go. So if you look down, you're going to go down. If you look forwards, you're going to go forwards. So the crow, it is a look forwards, lean forwards pose. Awesome. So it is those three things. You want to be nice and compact. You want to squeeze your legs onto your arms and look forwards, lean forwards. Especially another important point with that lean is you want to make sure that you're leaning into it. You don't want to be jumping and propelling yourself into it. If you jump, you're going to become very unstable and you're more likely to go forwards all the way. So just focus on tilting. Imagine yourself as if you're on a seesaw and you just want to tilt forwards until your feet come off the mat or your blocks. Awesome. So let's just start with a little warm-up. This will only be about 10 minutes of warm-up and then we'll be able to get straight into our play. So, starting lying on your back, knees into your chest, nose to knees, nice and tight, reinforcing that nice little squeeze here. Then keep a hold of the right leg, extend the left leg down, relax that head back to the mat. Focusing on pulling that leg up into the chest, creating space. And then we go out into the side body, pulling that leg high and up. You're going to need to open up the hips here. Using your breath, nice deep breath in. As you exhale, pull that knee up into the chest. Good, and incorporating just a little bit of twisting here for when we want to go into side crow. Bringing that leg across the body with the left hand, right arm extends to a T, resting here in a nice little twist. Deep breath in, breathing into the back and the glutes. Exhale, gently pushing down. Good, one more breath. And back through center, both knees into the chest, nice and tight. Squeeze yourself into a little ball. Keep a hold of the left leg. Extend that right leg down, head relaxes back to the mat. Squeezing that leg into the chest, take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, bring that leg out into the side body, opening up the hips. Focusing on the feeling of the space you're creating. And again, just getting that little twist going for when we try side crow. Bring that leg across the body. Left arm extends to a T, keeping both arms or both shoulders nice and planted. Deep breath in. Exhale, gently push down on the knee. Deepen the twist. One more, inhale. Exhale, gently push. And back through center, knees to nose, squeeze up nice and tight. And then take a hold of the outer edges of the feet, come back to a happy baby. You can gently rock from side to side, get a nice little middle back massage here. Good. Now this is the first time we're going to practice our crochet. So you're going to bring your toes together, drop your heels down, extend your arms through your legs, and then lift your upper body up. Squeeze those legs onto the arms, nice and tight. Hold, and fall back, happy baby. So that little shape there, that is our crow pose that we're working into. So we're just getting the body used to being in that shape. Going to do another 2 of those, and then we're going to try the side crow form. Toes together, arms reach through, inhale, lift through, squeeze. You want to be pushing through the hands, squeezing the legs onto the thigh, and hold, and relax back, happy baby. Again, gently rocking from side to side. Got 1 more to go. Toes together, knees go wide, reach those hands through, flat hands, squeezing the legs onto the arms and hold. And fall back, happy baby. Good. And now we're just going to do one either side for side crow. So you're going to bring the knees together, toes together, extend the arms to the left. Well, let me do the right first so you can see. Extend your arms to the right, and you're going to lift through and you're going to round, squeezing the thigh onto both of your elbows, reaching through, and relax back, happy baby. Gently rock from side to side. Back through center, knees together, toes together. Extend your arms to the left, reaching through, twisting. You want to plant both of your elbows on the thighs, squeezing and pushing through. And back to a happy baby. Feeling a nice opening in the hips. Good. From here, knees into chest, squeeze yourself nice and tight. Rock back and forth until you come all the way over into Malasana, which is a yoga squat. So your toes are together, knees are up nice and wide, hands are at heart center. Good. From here, extending those arms forwards, letting the back round, let the head drop as far as is comfortable for you. And then you can bring those forearms down to the mat, let the head hang. You can remain here if this is enough for you, or bringing those hands behind and taking a hold over the tops of the shins of the heels. Again, still letting that head hang, squeezing yourself up into a nice little ball, nice and tight. And then release the hands, slowly straighten up the legs, stepping out into a nice wide-legged forward fold, toes pointing inwards. Let that back round. Good, reach both hands forward, just going to bring in some more little twists here. And reach that right hand through the gap towards the left ankle. Opening up the hips, the hamstrings and the shoulders. As well as getting a nice twist in the back. Release that right hand back. Left hand threads through the gap, reaching towards the right ankle. Getting a nice little shoulder stretch here. And then releasing that left hand. Bringing your hands back in line with your feet, and you want to bend your elbows so you have a nice 90-degree bend. Let me turn slide on again so that you can see. So your hands are in line and you're getting that nice 90-degree bend like you do in chaturanga. So these are your chaturanga arms. So this is the kind of shape. First time is going into crow, you're going to have a very intense bend here because the flatter this is, it kind of functions as a tabletop. As you get more skilled in your crow, you'll be balancing with your arms higher up and you'll be able to have a more straight arm.
And just resting here a moment, feeling the stretch. Good. From here, walking your hands forward so they're directly underneath your shoulders. Fingers spread nice and wide, and you're going to push through your hands, coming up onto your toes, putting as much weight as you can into the hands, and then sinking back. Going to do 2 more of those. Come forwards, up onto the toes, push into the hands, push yourself up, and back down. Last one, coming forwards, pushing into the hands, up onto the tippy toes, and back down. Heel toeing the feet back to the middle of the mat, and we sink back down to a Vinyasa, nice and wide, hands at heart center. Good. From here, you're just going to come to a nice butterfly seat on the mat, holding onto the shins, knees out wide, taking a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, let the back round. You want to round the upper back, and just settling in, pushing down, opening up. So this isn't normally how we go into a butterfly stretch, but we're just trying to reinforce this rounding of the back and opening of the hips. One more breath here. Good, and then you come up slowly. Bring those knees into the chest. And now we get ready to play with crow. So you're going to come up, plant the soles of your feet, if you can, lifting all the way up to a little Vinyasa here. Hands pushing against the knees, opening up. Good. So I'm just going to show you how crow works first, and then I'll go through, break it down, and we can work through it together. So to get into crow, from your Vinyasa, you reach forwards, slide the hands back, lift the sit bones up, planting the knees as high as you can on the arms, look forwards, lean forward until your feet lift, and then you squeeze nice and tight. And then you come down nice and slow, nice and controlled. So let's break it down. Grab yourself your blocks or your books. Try out with just one block. Coming into your Vinyasa, toes hanging over the edge. Knees go out wide. Reach those arms forwards, and then you're going to slide those hands back so that your forearm is underneath your shins. Good. From here, you want to look forwards right to the top of the mat. If you look down, you're going down. First time is you can prop a pillow or a blanket where your head would land, so just kind of estimate where that would be, but don't look at the blanket, look at the top of the mat. Yeah, from here, you're going to lift those hips up, so you start to lean forwards already when they're lifting those hips, planting the knees on the elbows. Beginners have a really nice big chaturanga bend in those arms, and you're just going to maybe lift one foot off, and then drop it down, other foot lifts, drop it down, and come back. That's enough for you. Try a few more rounds of that. Maybe give it a few days of practicing that. Tomorrow come back, try it. Or over a week, build yourself up through these stages if you're really, really needing to build the fundamentals one step at a time. Next stage up, from here, lifting up those sit bones, still looking forwards, leaning forwards, and maybe seeing if you can lift those toes up slightly, and then dropping down. Get a little bit of a float feeling. Again, looking forwards, leaning forwards. Again, you don't want to be jumping up. You just want to be leaning forwards until your toes lift, even if it's just a little lift, and you get a feel for the flying, and then drop down. You can play with that. Next, you can try without the blankie, and you're going to want to lean forwards even more, and once your toes are off, squeeze those feet up towards the bum. So reach the hands forwards, slide them back, get that lock, look forwards, lift the bum, lean forwards, lifting up as you pendulum forwards, and then once your feet are up, squeezing them to the bum nice and tight, and then back down. Good, so that's it with the block. What the block does is it just helps give you the height. It depends on your body. And what's really important to remember here is if you have really long legs or you have a really long torso. So if you have a longer torso, you're more top heavy. So you're not going to need to lean as far forwards. Whereas if you have longer legs, you may need to lean a lot further forwards because you have a lot more weight to bring forwards. And it's just everyone's different.
You've got to find that point where it works for you. In crow. If you feel yourself falling, don't panic. If you panic, you're going to hurt yourself. Reaching those hands forwards, sliding them back. This is how to safely and gracefully just prop your head down in crow. So you're going to come up into crow, look forwards, lean forwards, getting a good balance. If you feel yourself falling, just drop that head down. And then from there you can just bend the elbows, plant the feet and come down. Another option is if you're really struggling to catch that balance as crow, grabbing a block and sliding back, leaning forwards to bring your head to rest on the block. This just helps you get a feel for it and then seeing if you can lift the head off the block, coming back. So now let's give it a go without the blocks. If you're ready to try, coming into our Vinyasa squat, arms extended ahead of you, sliding back, locking underneath, looking forwards, lifting the bum up, leaning forwards, and then maybe lifting one foot, then the other, or going and slowly lifting up just a little bit and back down, or going all the way, lifting up, and then squeezing those feet up and coming down. Listening to your body, working out how far you need to lean forwards. Again, if you still need that pillow or blanket in front of you, that's okay. And the thing is, you are going to fall out of crow a couple of times. I fell out of it a whole bunch when I first started, but it just takes practice. You just got to learn how far forwards you've got to lean, and it's a confidence thing. So now that we've got in crow, you can start building on that and going into a whole range of other arm balances similar. So what we're going to look at today is we're going to look at side crow. Now side crow, there are two ways to do side crow. You can do it with your legs, or with your one leg on both arms, or your one leg on one arm. It depends. First we'll do the both arm version because it's less of a twist, but for some people they actually find it easier to do one arm even though it's more of a twist. So same sort of concept, coming down into your Vinyasa, except bringing those knees together. Let's start with the left side first, because my left side is facing towards you. You're going to turn your legs 45 degrees towards the right and bring your arms to your left side, hands 45 degrees the other way. So you have this nice 90-degree shape between your hands and your knees. Fingers spread nice and wide, and you want to get that left elbow right up in that left hip, right elbow right up on the left thigh. From here, same concept. This, you do need to lean forwards a lot further. So if you need to have that blanket in front of you, again, grabbing it. But looking forwards, not down, forwards, leaning forwards, stacking your legs onto your arms and flying here. Then a more advanced version is you can straighten your legs, extending out into a nice flying side crow, coming back slowly and dropping down. So very similar points of focus. I'll do the other side but facing forwards now so that you can see. So same sort of thing, very important, look forwards, lean forwards. You can already see there, I had to lean forwards a lot further. And remember, if you're going to extend your legs, you're going to lean forwards further again, because now you're shifting the distribution of your weight, balancing on your arms. So let's try the right side now. Turn the knees 45 degrees to the left. Bring your arms to your right side, right elbow on right hip, left elbow on right thigh. Hands pointing 45 degrees, looking forwards through the middle of your hands, leaning forwards, getting that nice stack until your feet just slide off the floor. You see, I'm already having to lean and your arms are in a nice 90 degrees. Slowly straightening up those legs if you want to make it more advanced. Does throw your balance, you will wobble a bit, but don't panic. And then bringing those legs back as you slowly come down to rest. Cool. So that is the start version of your side crow and a bit more advanced. Now let me show you the single arm side crow. So this same sort of concept, but it's actually more of a twist. Some people find this easier, some people prefer the two arm. So the single arm side crow, so you still turn, so let's do left side again. Turn those legs to the right, 45 degrees, and bring that right elbow
to the middle of the left thigh. The left elbow is free, okay? Same concept, but you can see how much more of a twist I'm in because this elbow is having to come a lot further down the thigh. Good. From here, looking forwards, leaning forwards to stack both legs on the one arm. And again, doing that straightening of the legs if you want to push it, or resting and coming back. Only thing is with the single arm, for me, I find it digs quite intensely into the muscle in the leg, so it kind of feels like you're getting a nice knuckle in there. Can be quite therapeutic, but also personal preference. Let's try the other side. You just got to feel it out, find what works for you. Knees turning to the left, we're doing the right side now. Bringing that left elbow to the middle of the right thigh. Planting both the hands, nice and strong. Looking forwards at 45 degrees out to the right. Leaning forwards, bending the elbows until the legs lift. Balancing on the one leg. And then straightening if you'd like. One leg at a time. And then coming back. So this is probably a prime example. When you feel yourself falling, you saw there, my head just dropped down to the mat. Okay, arms are a bit tired, arms are a bit warm. Make sure you give yourself a rest. Do a bit of stretching afterwards. Let's just sit here, pulse the hands as if you're squeezing a stress ball. Flick the fingers out. Let's roll out the wrists. Good, stretching down with the left hand, stretching up with the left hand, stretching down with the right hand, stretching up with the right hand, rolling the wrists outwards and inwards, flicking the fingers, and you're done. Namaste everyone, I hope you enjoyed that. Have fun with crow, play with it. Use props if you need, don't be afraid of them. Use pillows, use blankets to make yourself as comfortable as you need. And I will see you when I next see you. Have a lovely day. Bye.